Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I'm not exactly sure what time it is, but I appreciate you spending some time with me to learn a little bit about the writing classroom. Now, the writing classroom is something that we created to assist teachers that are trying to help writing instruction for struggling writers, particularly those that would be, oh gosh, anywhere between some of your typical individuals that are just struggling with writing, individuals with disabilities. We've worked with English language learners and the like. We focused in on middle school, narrative, persuasive, expository, and argumentative. We focused in on general education as well as special ed, English language arts teachers, social studies teachers, science teachers, ELL teachers, special education teachers, and the like. And overall, we focused in on three primary areas: progress monitoring, right up here, technology solutions that assist struggling writers based on the progress monitoring data, combined with writing interventions that address writing challenges. So the technology with writing interventions based on the data. Let's get started. So this site itself hopefully houses everything a teacher needs to kind of make some of the connections with the technology they have in their classroom. And be it the technology, be it on their iPad, be it on their computer, so be it on their tablet. Let's get started. So with the progress monitoring element, the first step is to understand where the learner is when it comes to the writing and what they potentially need based on where they are. So we created a progress monitoring tool that basically, as you go step by step, you come up with directions, as you see here for a student, and then the directions lead into a writing prompt. And that writing prompt is in blue. Let me make this a little bit larger, make sure we can see it here. So the writing prompt is in blue here. So the individual sees this, and you'll see a timer here. And Sean, what's the timer doing? Well, the timer is actually timing down. They have a minute, and that minute's based on some norm data to determine the fact that now the individual can think about this. And we've seen teachers have the students just think about it. We've seen students will have sheets of paper that they'll write down a few ideas on as they're getting started. They may even use some organizers that teachers are teaching them to use. But basically, whatever it is, they're thinking about this. And of course, as you notice with the audio component, I can actually listen to whatever's offered here in text. So I'll give you an example.
Based on the story starter below.
There you go. So you see that. And then after the minute's up, it's going to take me over to the actual box where I can write, and it'll show the prompt again. So here we go. It'll automatically move me there. So 1 second, boom, there I am. And now there's also a timer down below here. Now remember, I kind of enlarged it so we can see it here on the screen. There's a timer. It's going to give me 3 minutes based on normative data as well. There's a prompt, which I can listen to again, and I can simply start to type. So I can say, the rest of the story. There you go. And does it offer me any type of supports? No. Does it offer me a spell check? No. It basically write what I can write and do it within 3 minutes. Well, Sean, what happens if I'm still writing and 3 minutes are up? It automatically will stop. It actually will automatically move on to another screen, say we're done, and that data automatically goes to a scoring unit. Now, that scoring unit is back up under our progress monitoring. Actually, let's get out of here and we'll just say leave. Thank you very much. So let's go back up on here under our progress monitoring element. And this takes us to data. And by the way we can monitor our student progress, as I'm going through here, we can do it in a variety of different ways. But a teacher can, and these are all different classrooms. A teacher can do classrooms. A teacher can do a series of classrooms, like Baker here has several different periods that he or she teaches. So does Hillman, so does Adams, etc. Here's a fake account that I'm going down to under stock. But basically, what the teacher is able to do here is able to load as many students as they'd like, as many classes as they'd like, and then from there, this is all made up data, folks, then from there they can click and actually take a look at their students. And the way we organized it is across with the color coding where the students fall. They're the 25th percentile of their group, 50th percentile of their group, and that's generally classroom based. To understand where the students that I really need to focus in on and offer support. So let's make this a little bit bigger. And you'll see that with individual Bruce Wayne, and again, this is made up data, but the big thing here is I have data points, and each data point is when they were actually assessed. And by the way, again, this is screwy data. I appreciate that. But realize if it's a little bit more typical, and I'd love to show you that, but those students are actual students, so I don't want to violate that privacy. But what you're seeing here with these data points is how it would organize itself. In general, we're asking students to be progress monitored every 2 weeks. And so you'll have a number of different data points across an academic year, depending upon when they started and when the teacher decided to stop that. And from that, I can go into and take a look at, and I'll make this larger as well. I can go in and take a look at, that's a little bit too large, isn't it? Let's make this a little bit smaller. I can go in and take a look at the prompt that was asked. Here's the prompt. And I can take a look at what they actually typed. And those characters here, this character here is to offer what the spacing is. So I can see that there was a misspelling here. I can see that, well, overall 172 letters, correctly spelled 40 words. Total words is 45. Sequence is 38. And of course, it was done in late November 2016. So this basically is what I'm able to see. I can then take a look at it from a graph perspective. But this is all available to me for the progress monitoring data, and the purpose of the progress monitoring data in the writing classroom is to understand where the student is fitting within the writing challenge, or potentially they're very successful. Very successful, great, I'll continue doing what I'm doing. But with the writing struggle, I can go and then say, I've got a writing challenge here. The data tells me. Now, this data doesn't tell me everything here, so it will be combined with data I'm collecting on maybe the 6th grade writing, maybe some observational information as well. So this is only one element of data I'm going to look at, but maybe this one element of data is showing me under conventions that I'm having some difficulty with some mechanics here. And what it's going to do is it's going to give me a strategy plus the technology. So this will give me the strategy plus the technology in addressing writing challenges related to conventions. So I'm kind of combining the two. Now here it's going to use text-to-speech and the revised strategy. Down here it's going to use text-to-speech and the COP strategy. Down here it's going to use co-writer, which is a word prediction, and a third-party keyboard, which would be more of an intervention. And we go down and down and down. So let's go up to the top here, and we'll just kind of give you a flavor. Each of these involves a video and a cheat sheet in terms of how to do it. So let's take a look at the video. It's going to walk the teacher through elements of using the text-to-speech and this strategy. We'll make sure the volume's up here.
Welcome to the dashboard.
And we'll just fast forward because
the Revise strategy within the Co-Writer Universal app.
There we go.
Revise is an SRSD strategy for writing that helps revise an essay of your own and/or the work of others. Teaching students to revise and make changes in the writing is helpful because revise is a mnemonic, a reminder that.
So what Josh is doing here is Josh is walking you through what revise is, and then he's going to tie it over to a technology. So here he's going to walk you through what the elements of revise are, and almost all the SRSD strategies, which is really what we focus in on, will offer some sort of acronym. And so he'll walk you through those elements, and then after those elements, he'll then bring you into the technology. And here's the technology he's going to walk you through. He opens up something called Co-Writer Universal, and I'll walk you through the elements that help with text-to-speech and how that worked with revise. And so I won't play this because of the time, but basically he's sharing with you how the app works. He's sharing with you word prediction elements, talking word processing elements, all aligning with the strategy. And this goes on and on and on. So for example, I went up under writing challenges, I went up under writing conventions, and I got a series of resources. Well, we can also enter from a technology perspective. So for example, I may be working in a one-to-one environment where every child has an iPad or a laptop, and interactive graphic organizers are something we work with. As basic as a hamburger, but let's go into something with interactive graphic organizers, which would be inspiration. And so here, I can take a look at this connection with a writing strategy called STOP. And again, it's going to introduce myself the same way all these videos will introduce it as a University of Kansas project. But then here it kind of walks me through the acronym of STOP. It suspends judgment, and then the T and the O and the P, and then it'll bring me over to inspiration. I need to emphasize here, this is not teaching you the thorough elements of what STOP is in terms of, oh gosh, now I understand exactly how to use it and I independently could use STOP. This is trying to give you instead an overview. And as you can see, with the narration that I've muted, it's giving you a pretty good overview of what STOP is and what you're supposed to be doing. But my goodness, there's books written on these things. And for a teacher that says, well, gosh, I really want to know more about that strategy, well, there's some additional resources you can go for that. Our purpose is, well, there's the strategy, and then now let's take a look at it with something called Inspiration, which is an app and also a software. It's an interactive graphic organizer. And now the narrator, in this instance is Amber, will walk you through, well, here, let's listen to her for a moment.
Come down, and there is a pretty cool one here that's called History, Issue, and Analysis. And for our
And so now she's going to walk you through a template that can take stop and apply stop to the interactive graphic organizer. And as the outcome, we're having the technology tied with the strategy to address the problem that was identified in the progress monitoring. And by the way, each of these individuals each video will offer a cheat sheet or job aid, however you want to describe it. And you can see I'm on a small screen, so we're having some difficulty seeing it, but please realize it would print out as a normal screen. But the printout is the idea is that, okay, now here are some screen captures of what I just listened to on the video. It's no more than 2 to 3 pages. In this instance, it's 2 pages. And it's a job aid, a cheat sheet, so I can quickly open up my Inspiration app, remember about the stop element. In this instance, it's actually DARE. I'm sorry, I selected another one. So this is the DARE writing strategy that was introduced to. So there's DARE, and it's develop, add, reject, and end. Here's the Inspiration app in terms of how to make the connection, and I can use that at my leisure. All right, so in each area, as I mentioned before, both writing challenges and technology solutions, as you enter in, you're either organized by the technology or the challenge, and in each area you have, as I mentioned before, a video, a cheat sheet, combining the strategy with the technology. But the last thing I want to emphasize, it also has teacher perspectives. In this instance, it may be a group of teachers offering their perspective here about how they tie progress monitoring the technology to the IEP. In this instance, it's basically simply a teacher talking to you and walking you through how they're using Inspiration in the STOP strategy. This might be a teacher and a student kind of walking you through how those elements work, but you'll see there's a whole library of these things where it may be teacher perspective with a student talking about it, teacher perspective with a narration, teacher perspective where they're simply watching and sharing with you the classroom and how that's all connected. So the writing classroom focuses on collecting data, giving that data to you as a teacher to see where the students are in your class and where they're struggling. Combine that with additional data that you already have through observation, other types of informal or formalized assessment you're doing. And then from there, connect it with a technology that is effective, aligning it with a strategy that's effective so that then you can then apply that in your classroom. I want to end this with the understanding that, of course, while we connect a number of different dots, the depth of the thing, so for example, gosh, I really need to know all the ins and outs of Inspiration. We get you thinking about it, then you can go off to individual tutorials on lots of different sites, including potentially some professional learning in your district on that. Or maybe it's a strategy. Okay, I want to really know everything about STOP. Well, there's several books to read about that. There's some nice resources online to read about that. What we've tried to do is connect the dots for you so that you have that understanding to make that next step. I hope this offers some good information about the writing classroom. And the other thing I want to share with you in terms of the writing classroom, and one of the reasons we're sharing it with you, is we're looking right now for teachers, particularly middle school teachers, that would be interested in using this with their students and doing a regular progress monitoring and collecting some additional data. We have an honorarium for the teachers for this work, both for teachers that will use the full writing classroom and other teachers that would ask just to use the progress monitoring element. There's a lot of different flexibility with this. There are some parameters, but we'd be happy to talk to you more about that. And the individual that's introduced this video to you will have our contact information. If not, take a look at the bottom of this website and you'll see contact information for both Amber Rowland and Sean Smith. Thank you very much for the time. I hope this gave you a little overview of what the writing classroom is, but also has you thinking about, gosh, I'd like to know more, potentially play more, and hey, how do I get involved? Thanks so much for the time.